you for being here. This is an important topic that affects every American. It's a vital part of our commerce in the United States of America. We're here to discuss the future of the United States Postal Service and to address options for ensuring its long-term viability. Each year, more than 40% of the world's mail volume is carried through the United States Postal Service. The Postal Service employs more than 400,000 full-time workers spread throughout the country. It is also the backbone of more than a $1 trillion mailing industry that employs more than 7.5 million people. However, due to the ongoing changes in the way Americans use the mail, the Postal Service faces an unprecedented financial crisis. In 2006, mail volume had declined since 2006, mail volume has declined more than 25%, or about 60 billion pieces of mail annually. As a result, the Postal Service has lost money for 9 straight years. With nearly a decade of red ink behind it, the Postal Service faces mounting long-term financial challenges. The agency has $125 billion in unfunded liabilities, including $54 billion for retiree health care, and has exhausted its $15 billion statutory debt limit. Further, the Postal Service lacks the funds it needs for critical infrastructure investments. Chief among those is the purchase of a delivery fleet projected to cost roughly $6 billion. Think about all those millions and millions of postal boxes that need somebody to come actually deliver the mail to them. It is a miraculous thing, I think, in this country that for less than 50 cents, you can put a stamp on an envelope, and a day or 2 or 3 days later, that's going to show up at another address within the country. It really is truly amazing. But if you're going to purchase new delivery vehicles and prepare for the next decade or 2, you're going to need some money, and it's something that the Postal Service does not have. In the meantime, they must manage a delivery fleet of vehicles, which on average is 24 years old and cost $1 billion a year in maintenance. That's just the maintenance cost. While the Postal Service has made efforts to cut costs and streamline its operations, it's not enough. And I think it's important to note that many of the unions have been very helpful in actually working with the Postal Service and making cuts, but they don't want to keep continuing to cut the number of personnel, and neither do I. We want to see a growing, vibrant, thriving Postal Service. Today we're going to hear from representatives of 5 key stakeholders within the postal community, including the Postmaster General, the Postal Regulatory Commission, the Government Accountability Office, private industry, and one of the more important postal unions. There are a number of postal unions. I wish we could have them all up at the same time, but we have one here with us today. The witnesses will discuss reforms as needed, as well as how certain reform proposals would work. One of the things that is most critical in dealing with this has to do with Medicare. And I look forward to hearing from the Postmaster General Brennan and the NALC Union President Rolando about a joint proposal to require the Postal Service retirees to fully enroll in Medicare in order to receive federal health care benefits in their retirement. Since 1983, postal workers have paid some $29 billion. $29 billion they've paid into Medicare. But currently, postal retirees have a choice in enrolling in Medicare. As federal retirees, they can continue their sole enrollment in a federal employee health care plans, or they can enroll in both federal plan and Medicare. While 3/4 of retirees already enroll in both Medicare and the federal plan, the Postal Service and its retirees could see significant savings if all retirees were duly enrolled. I look forward to hearing more about this proposal. It is one of the most key elements, biggest elements in our drafting and coming forward with a reform package that has a vibrant and sustainable Postal Service. And let me just say, I think it's important to note the approach that we're taking here. Are there costs to be cut? Yes. Are there things that we can do to become more effective, more efficient? Yes. But I also do believe that the Postal Service is a vital tool of commerce, and a thriving, vibrant, productive Postal Service is essential to our economy. We cannot ignore this. Think about the world of the internet. Think about the way commerce is moving. Think of the way we communicate. Think of how we send bills and communicate as a nation. You have to have a vibrant, thriving postal service in order to achieve all of that. That's why I think so many people are here today, and it's one of the most important things that our committee will be addressing and taking care of. And that's the goal, and that's what we're trying to achieve. And I thank you all for being here. We should have a good hearing today. With that, I'll now recognize the ranking member, good friend, Mr. Cummings of Maryland.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.